So, the main purpose of our field trip was for us event students to get an idea of what it's like to work in the events industries and learn it from those who work in large event planning companies. So, we were actually lucky enough we got to meet with the Whitecaps, Red Bull, Tourism Vancouver, ICS, which stands for International Conference Services. We did a PCMA workshop, and then we also got to do a tour of Rogers Arena. So we got to meet with a lot of different industries, which was cool because they all do things a lot differently and they all cover different kinds of events. So that was really beneficial, I think, because a lot of us students there want to work in different fields of the event industry. I would say my favorite was probably the Whitecaps just because of how they presented to us. Like they had a slideshow, they provided videos for us, so it gave us a more clear idea of what they do, the roles within their company, and their morals and values as a company. It was interesting to learn about how each game they want to create and involve the people who go and make it a memorable experience and not just look at the people in the crowd as like any other person, like actually involve them and kind of create almost like a comforting kind of environment for the people that go to the games. I thought meeting with Red Bull was also another cool experience because they're really private about their marketing strategies and about their company and how they work as a company. I mean, I would have liked to get a little bit more out of it, but it's cool to see a company that's so different and that like takes so much pride and value into like their own creations and wants to like keep the uniqueness that they have as a company. Um, a lot of the other meetings we went to, it was just kind of people talking and throwing information your way, and it was just kind of made it more hard to obtain, I would say, because it wasn't as interesting as Red Bulls or as the Whitecaps, in my opinion. So my favorite event or tourist activity that we did when we were on the trip was seeing the Cat Empire. I think concerts are just such a positive environment and so lively, and it gave our class the opportunity to kind of bond as a group because obviously, like, not all of us are like that close, but it was overall so much fun. I am a fan of alternative rock or whatever genre you'd categorize the Cat Empire, but so I enjoyed the music a lot. I loved they kind of had like a jazz kind of vibe to it. It was really fun to just kind of dance to. I think the venue also was really perfect. The Commodore Ballroom is where the concert was held. It was super open and it also had like kind of a restaurant, I think, or tables set up around, and it had like a balcony that you could sit and watch a concert from. So it kind of gave you the opportunity to go out and dance and have fun, but you could also sit down and watch the concert in a more comfortable way if you really wanted to. I did really enjoy biking the seawall, even though the chain on my bike broke, but it was still a really fun time. And same with Flyover Canada, it was a really cool experience. But because I'm from the Lower Mainland, I've already done both of those activities like numerous of times in my life. So I think the concert stood out to me more. And also, when you're doing Flyover Canada, you're not really like socializing. And same with the seawall, you're kind of just biking, kind of doing your own thing. That's why I did think the concert was a better bonding experience for a situation like us, where it's not people who are super close as friends, like you don't really know each other as well. So it was a really good experience to go to the concert. But overall, every activity was so much fun, and it was good, obviously, for the people who aren't from Vancouver and aren't from the Lower Mainland who don't get to do activities like this all the time. So we did visit a wide variety of different restaurants, which I thought was really cool. I am a picky eater, but I think it really forced me to, get out of my comfort zone a little bit. The first restaurant we went to was called the Copper Chimney, and it was like Indian food, and it was a buffet style. I think the food was really good, but I don't think the restaurant was really prepared for us as a group to be there, so the service was kind of bad. But overall, like the food was good, so that's all I really care about. Um, then the next night, so Monday night, we went to the American, which was a burger place, and the food was so good, and it just was a really fun environment. They did have a trivia event going on that night, so I wish we could have experienced it maybe when an event wasn't going on, because I'm pretty sure you had to buy tickets to go to the event, so we couldn't just join in. But overall, my favorite was Gyukaku Japanese barbecue. I thought it was so cool that we got to cook our own food as like a group, and I think that overall was like a good bonding experience too, and just a memorable experience because I've never got to make my own food at a restaurant, and it literally kept coming and coming and coming. Like they never stopped bringing food. It felt like the server probably came like 6 or 7 times with like plates of food for us to cook, which was really awesome. And I'm also don't usually like Japanese food, but it forced me to try it, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed like every bite of it. They had really good drinks as well. They were really tropical kind of vibe drinks and really sugary, and those are the kind of drinks I like, so it worked out in my favor. And they had a lot of variety as well. I really enjoyed the miso soup at Gyukaku Japanese Barbecue, and they also had, I don't know what kind of meat it was, but it was marinated in like a pesto sauce, and it was like to die for. So I'm definitely gonna try making that at home. It was also cool. At the end, they brought out s'mores because like there was a burner, like the fire that was in the middle of each table. So at the end, they got to roast marshmallows and make s'mores. So that was a really cute touch and a good way to kind of end your experience at the restaurant. Touring Rogers Arena was another really cool experience we got to do on the field trip. I would say it's one of the highlights because it's such a huge venue and we got to see almost every aspect of it. Um, I've been to Rogers Arena many times for different events, such as concerts and hockey games, and it was really cool to see, well, actually see how big the venue is when there's nobody in it. Because, like, those are the kind of things you don't really get to take into consideration when you're at a concert because you're there focusing on the act, or like the hockey games, you're focusing on the game. It was just really cool to see every part of the arena, and we got to actually see the Canucks dressing room as well, which a lot of groups that tour the arena don't get to see. We were right almost on the ice. We got to go to the different specialty restaurants and bars and lounges they kind of have in their arena. Touring Rogers Arena was by far the most beneficial experience I got from the field trip. I think it was just really cool to be hands on in the arena, kind of seeing what you do on a daily basis as an event planner there. And Patrick was just very honest and clear about what it's like to be an event planner in such a big industry and such a big arena. Um, I think the most important thing I took out of it would be knowing that it's not just like any other full time job to be an event planner, and that you really need to put in like extra hours to make events memorable and successful for those who attend them, which I would say is the most important part of event planning in general. Overall, I'd say I'm very grateful for the opportunity I had in Vancouver. It was really interesting to meet with professionals and hear different perspectives from different types of event planners. Um, I think it gave me a more clear idea personally of what I want to do in the events industries. Before I was really interested in corporate events, and now after touring with Rogers Arena, Red Bull, Whitecaps, it made me a little more interested in the sports side of events. I would say something I learned from almost every event planning company that we visited was just about how much time and effort goes into event planning, and that it isn't a full time job, and that going the extra mile really is worth it in the end, and that being driven and organized and determined is very important when being an event planner. Another lesson I got from going to Vancouver would be just knowing more about different event industries and the different roles and positions that are needed depending on what kind of events you're planning. I also learned a lot about the different factors that are needed in order to make an event successful. I think it was cool overall just meeting with a wider variety of event industries because some of us students don't really know what we want to do. Overall, I think the trip to Vancouver was something I'll remember for the rest of my life. It was a great balance between educational activities, tourism activities, free time to explore the city and get to know our peers, as well as try new foods in different restaurants. I would say being with people that I see every day but don't necessarily get to talk to and get to know and do fun activities with was something that was so amazing. And it was just the best way for a group of students to bond. Meeting professionals was definitely something I'll remember as well for the rest of my life because I'm very passionate about working in the events industries, and it was just really awesome to see all the different types of events that are run in Vancouver and how they're run and just how to be a successful event planner.